This is what happened to me when I yelled, "Spirit guide," in a lucid dream. Welcome, ancient dreamers. If you're new to this channel and you want to develop a deeper lucid dreaming and astral practice, press that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and let's dive in. So how did I become lucid? I've had these two next to my night table. Right before I went to sleep, I decided to acknowledge the crystals. And I went to sleep. I was in a dream when suddenly I saw those two blue calcite crystals on a coffee table. I decided to close my eyes and open them as I grabbed them and see how many times they would shift. At first they were silver, and then they were goldish metallic, and then finally I said, "This is a lucid dream." So I called out spirit guide, and at first it came out like it wouldn't come out. And then I decided to call again. This time I thought, no, I'm gonna really use my voice. And I said, "Spirit guide." And suddenly, from far away from me, came floating this feminine rainbow being. It looked multifaceted, like the face was coming out from one side, but there was like light everywhere. I kept thinking, she's a being of some sort, maybe the being from the crystal. She did the most magical thing. As I got closer to her, because I ran to her like, yeah, this is higher self, a spirit guide, you know? When I got there, she opened up the dream dissolved, and instead of the dream, there were galaxies and universes and colorful galaxies and universes, and it was like watching candy in the sky. I felt like a child in a candy store. It was literally like, wow, that's so cool. And just to see the amount of galaxies, the amount of universes outside of the galaxies, or the galaxies within universes, was endless. We stood there face to face with that feeling of wonder, and I was so grateful. And I know that every time I call out spirit guide, or every time I allow the divinity within the dream to speak to me or to surprise me, there's always something that just leaves me completely in gratitude and awe and love. Another thing that's happened to me when I have yelled spirit guide in a dream this one was just bizarre. I was in a space in my dream. It was like this background right here, and I said, "Spirit guide." I sometimes say higher self as well, and it's similar reactions within the dream. Similar alchemy occurs, and at that moment, my whole body elevated into the air, and I felt an invisible force that just like, if I was standing, it like flipped me horizontally, opened a wormhole in the middle of the dream and just thrust me through it. And I was just traveling full speed, and I didn't want to fear, so I kept repeating in my head, "I'm guided by my higher self, I'm guided by my spirit guide, I trust my higher self, I trust my spirit guide." And it just kept going through all different types of wormholes, and until finally I came out. And when I came out, it was like dead silence, but there was somebody there with me. It was an invisible being. And the invisible being flipped me over, head down, feet up in the air, and with an invisible hand blasted energy into the soles of my feet. I experienced such electricity, or kundalini, or energy, call it what you want. It was insane. And I remember thinking, I can't handle this energy, it's too much. Because it was like, you know? And I've had this happen to me before in another occasion when I was pregnant, but that's another story. And then when it was over, it like, he disappeared, the dream, wormhole, everything went back, and I just woke up. Like I could have stayed in that space, but I was so affected by this energy. I needed to see if I was okay. I would like to know what happens when you have called your spirit guide in a lucid dream. And if you haven't yet had that experience, well, when you do, let me know what happens in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can receive notifications of future videos. Until next time.